So basically, what we are wanting to understand is how you are playing a role into the development or the urbanization of a city.
As mentioned, we are basically to C&T as a collection and transportation waste.
As in broader perspective.
Yeah. And three areas that we principally deal with is liquid waste, all kinds of machines to clean sewers, stormwater drains, manholes, septic tanks, whatever. And then we have the solid waste part, which is basically collection of garbage and transportation to the landfill areas. And then we have a range of sweepers. And the latest thing that we've added on to our portfolio is that we are into railways now, where we will be into kind of a niche segment where we will cater to coach cleaning and track cleaning. Not the conventional cleaning systems which are already in place, getting into slightly specialized lines. We've tied up with some global players to get to those areas.
So what I understand, learning about the background or activities you are doing, you are more or less always being associated to the municipalities or the government, local bodies. So can you just come up with any role model city, or maybe you would have worked on, or maybe you consider that that's a role model city and we should replicate the same to other places? Is there anything which comes up in your mind? Or
Right now, Ahmedabad actually. Many of them. People have a wrong understanding of how municipalities run very badly, which is an absolute myth.
Considering that,
the amount of constraint they have in terms of lack of money, free service, everything, world over, you pay for all these services.
Correct.
In India, you pay for nothing. So municipalities are extremely starved of funds. So they use whatever little is available and they deploy in all these activities. When you compare India versus any other country, we must realize that we don't pay for all our services. There's no political will to make people pay. But when you stay in the UK or anywhere in the world, when you expect someone to come and collect your garbage, you need to pay large sums of money to the private contractor.
Correct.
Neither you nor I pay any amount of money to just throw away garbage. So where does the municipality get its revenue from? And that is why you will find that India is not as ahead or perhaps as automated as anywhere in the world. It does not mean that Indians don't know how to mechanize. I mean, most municipal commissioners, or for that matter, the engineers in the corporation are extremely well informed. They know what is right, what is wrong, what is required of the country. But they're completely cash starved. They run on a deficit finance. They don't have the money. If India gets money, all these civic bodies get money, they can make our cities absolutely look as good as anybody else. So the constraint is purely money. It's not about something like JNU or they get blocked. And therefore they are not utilized well. And the reason they are not utilized well is because the municipalities don't have enough money to invest in equipment which can do the job.
Is it enough money, or is it they are least bothered about what is being done?
Absolutely missing. Perhaps if anybody is least bothered, people like you and I. We throw litter on the road. We throw solid waste into our sewer lines. It is the people of India who make their lives miserable. No Indian, however big a car you drive, you will open your window and throw garbage out. You will spit on the road and then you will blame the municipality. It's an absolute myth that Indian municipal commissioners or the engineers in the municipality don't know how to keep cities clean. It is the Indians who do not know how to keep clean. I mean, our country is clean, our city is clean. The same Indian who goes to UK will not throw anything on the road, will be a well-behaved human being. So it is not to blame the municipality. This morning, that kid who fell into the gutter and died, some kid fell this morning into a gutter in Bombay and died. Sorry, in Delhi. There's a live footage on NDTV. The open nala is open. The kids walked inside and fallen and died. The nala is floating with plastic. Completely floating with plastic. So for that matter, any normal man can also go inside. So it doesn't look like a water body. It looks like land. So I mean, you can't do anything unless people of this country believe that it is also their responsibility to keep cities clean. No municipality can do anything.
Apart from like Bombay, Ahmedabad or Maharashtrian cities, what you mentioned, any other municipalities?
Bangalore is perhaps the only corporate. Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board and the Bangalore Bangalore Municipality. The Sewerage Board has more than about 50 or 60 sewer cleaning machines deployed. It's the highest number of machines anywhere in India. And the number of garbage compactors working there would be more than 300 to 400. So, which is I think sizable. I mean, I'm not saying it's enough, which is quite large. So, I mean, you just can't say that they're not doing enough.
So you are actually working with that?
Yeah, we work with all the governments. So Delhi Jal Board. Delhi Jal Board has deployed more than 40 machines of sewer cleaning equipment. Delhi City has more than 100 to 200 compactors. They have more than 50 sweepers working in Delhi City.
And look at it in perspective, India is generating 200,000 tons of solid waste every day, daily. Yeah, that's a lot of load to handle.
And what you see, how effective it is when we say we are moving towards the urbanization or moving towards the smart city, or maybe you say 24/7 services. I mean, where you will grade India lying?
Long way. It's a very far cry.
Very far.
I think the whole focus needs to be a lot of education at the public level.
Awareness at the public level is what is missing, which is true for most of our.
Since we are currently focusing on urban vision 2020, so where you will place India by 2020 if we consider urbanization or urban city development or something? In context of your what you are working on, not on a very general.
What I see, municipalities are getting a lot more funding. So when they get more funding, they get more equipment. When they get more equipment, I would presume that they would do a lot more of maintenance work. So here the problem is see, Indian psyche is not to maintain. You take me to anything that you have built in the last 20 years. Take a stadium. Take me inside and show me how it looks today and how it looked then. We don't have provisions for maintenance budgets. Which is a very common Indian phenomenon.
Take the Balewadi, which is next door.
We have a lovely stadium.
Lovely stadium.
Beautiful stadium.
You can't
have world class event here.
You can't enter the swimming pool any longer.
You go to there.
I find it's more better than Wankhede in Bombay.
But go there right now and see how it is.
See how it looks inside.
There's nothing like maintenance. They don't have the money. In fact, it's kept closed. You're not allowed to go in there or something. You can rather charge a fee and generate revenue, maintain it.
It is unmaintained.
This whole thing doesn't work.
I think you very rightly mentioned the legislation which has to work to come up with the rules or these policies that the general public should be punished or should be charged of throwing the garbages rather than putting everything to the municipalities or.
But then again, how will you implement it?
How will you implement it? See, that is still, I would say, far off stage. What I am looking at legislation right now is basic things like manual entry and garbage collection. Basic rules should be in place. Where I said it's the hazardous to life. Very basic factor that we are missing out on. It's all being done manually today.
Political will and finance. If these two are there, I think the bureaucracy is very.
And to just briefly summarize, which all municipalities actually you are working with very closely, or maybe
everywhere.
Almost
pan-India.
All through pan-India. And any plans for moving outside India or expanding it?
There's so much to do here. So much to do.
That's a good way. Any latest announcement or new projects that the company is?
Yeah, we just made our first recycling equipment. In India, we use clean water to clean sewer lines. Fresh drinking water is used to clean underground sewers. So, and water is scarce. So there's now a technology which can use sewage water, suck it into the machine, filter it online, use the same water to clean the sewage. So we made our first machine. It's working in Nagpur. There are now tenders coming in Bombay and Delhi for similar such machines.
Huge saving in terms of water. It is a scarce commodity in the case.
So can we say you are getting into water treatment?
No. The same application will be done at a lower cost. Because here, when you use a machine like what we make currently, you require fresh water. Each time you clean a sewer line and the tank gets empty, you need to go back and fill fresh water and come back and clean the line again. Whereas here,
spending that extra on fuel.
Yeah. You first of all travel up and down. Then you use fresh water. So now you can have a machine that will suck the dirty water from a sewage line, separate the water from the physical impurities, use that water again for cleaning the line. So it's a phenomenal breakthrough.
Oh, actually. And when are you planning to come up with? You have already
it's working. Bombay has 2 such machines, of course not sold by us, but 2 such machines working already. We have sold one and it's being deployed, it's being used in Nagpur. tenders coming up now in Delhi.
Bombay will deploy more. Yeah, and also Delhi.
So
Delhi,
this is catching on.
Yeah.
Metros, are you targeting for that, or it's like?
Again, question of who has the money to
Who
buy.
has the money first, yeah. And who is willing to, look a little ahead. It will obviously be these bigger cities.
See, if a bunch of guys from Bombay can maybe even make London look cleaner. They're very well informed. The engineers we work with in Bombay are extremely good. Perhaps what we have in Bombay in terms of an outfall, not too many countries in the world will have. We have a pipeline going into the sea.
Is it? It's actually there?
It goes into the sea, and as per world norms, allowable norms of pumping away your liquid waste, Bombay in 100% compliance. They treat their water and then they pump it into the high sea, I think 12 kilometers inside.
What you see specifically for Kam Avida, how open these municipalities are accepting the solutions which is there already in the market? Are they open for accepting that, or are they yet to be informed, or there needs to be some understanding, learning is yet required, or are they actually open for
The big metros perhaps.
Yes, and what about this small
The smaller
ones?
cities are buying. Today, you sold to Muktasar, a small town in the Indo-Pak border. They bought a machine. Down south, you sold to Kanyakumari, to Toothukudi.
A lot of these smaller towns are in Tamil Nadu.
Correct, like what I mentioning to him, it's like JNNURM is one municipality and there's another category we call it Udesmet. And they actually have so much of fund, and they want to utilize those funds, they want to put it across and understand the solutions what we have. Somewhere or the other they are lacking the information that they already have the solution in the market.
Possible. We do a lot of mailing, we do a lot of other promotions by which I think people... Today if somebody in India would say that they don't know that which is available, that would be quite I would be quite surprised, because we do linguistic mailing. We send a mailer to every civic body in a local language that's registered in the local language, telling them what we can do for them. I mean, we have an extensive campaign running throughout the year.
And plus today most of them are accessing the website.
Yeah.
It's not a something we get calls daily.
You key in sewer cleaning and you will get
Every day we get calls.
Yeah.
Everybody's on the web that way.
So are they actually using this e-governance thing?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, see, the problem is so big that normal people like you and I who live in houses and don't know what happens outside the house believe nothing is happening. A lot is happening. For a company like our size or the business that we are in, on a normal good year, we do about say 60 to 100 tenders. We've done 100 tenders already in the first quarter. Manual says 3 people per kilometer.
Correct.
So Bombay has about 18,000 kilometers of roads. So you need to have something like 18,000 into 3.
So there's so many things the people needs to be employed on, except
So
this.
that kind of people don't exist actually. There are not so many people working. The fact is, when machines come, they only do the trunk roads. They do the main roads. They don't do the gullies. They always go for work. People being deployed there. I don't think machines will ever, replace human beings, especially in sewer cleaning. I mean, there is so much of a human dependence on it to even run the machine.
You can't look at manpower in isolation. You are also looking at the efficiency and the quality of cleaning, which is a completely, there is no comparison at all there. So you just can't treat manpower in isolation. That we are just replacing manpower. You are also doing a much more efficient job.
And even manpower not available. Today, the problem, why you are finding a kind of a shift by the private contractors to machines, is because they can't get a regular, uninterrupted human being to come every morning all excited and charged to do his job, which means taking off his clothes, jumping into a sewer line, risking his life, he may die. That cannot be a very motivating job to do for 200 bucks a day. He's not going to be available. Tomorrow he has 210 to carry some stone and do something, and he will go away.
Correct. So it's like just the way of working is being changed. It's not
See, going into a sewer line is not wrong. I think you have to go with safety equipment.
Correct. It's like saying that it's we are doing with a more quality and a more enhanced, more brushed equipment that we are using for the same activities which is being done. So, and just to conclude, I mean, can we consider Kam Avida as the market leader for this segment at least?
Yes, we can, not because we are great guys. It's that we are perhaps the only company which is focused on the line of business as our main line of business. There are a few other guys who perhaps do similar things also. We only do this.
This is our core activity. Actually.
So you are the only people we can consider it a niche for you? Or
It's our core competence, this is our core activity. I said, we've not gone into services, we've not gone into processing. We've left those areas to people who are already there and have the expertise. We've by and large stuck to what we know best, which is making it.
So if we can calculate the market share, how you think you are placed in percentage wise?
These are all numbers that could be extremely misleading because they don't represent anything. It's like saying, I don't know, perhaps in the business of sewer cleaning, we've been here the longest and perhaps we would have a very large share. I don't want to risk putting a number because somebody can object or something. But I think we have more than about 2,000 machines, 1,500 machines working in India. Which would almost mean every small city and every small town, large cities, they all have machines.
So you have said the reachability is all across.
Yes.
Yeah. And there are similar players in the market. So putting any numbers.
There are not too many players.
There aren't too many players.
And we are not afraid of that. I mean, more the merrier. Competition never kills you.
Come up with what e-magazine, which I believe you that we are coming up, will that make any difference to the kind of business? Because this e-magazine is bringing the government people and the industry people all together in a one common platform wherein they come up with the problem, so maybe you have the solution. So will that?
Yeah, that can be structured, can be made more formal, we can have more interactive sessions. For example, yesterday I believe there was a delegation from
Like he was mentioning.
Madhya Pradesh. The Chief Minister himself came as
Correct.
Principal Secretary. So we got talking. So now if we have access to somebody like him, perhaps we can meet him more often and then from there can percolate down. On my own, if I go and give my visiting card to the Secretary of State, I mean, he would never meet me. So these kind of people are, for us, not approachable.
Correct.
If you can create platforms where they can talk to us, there's another inherent problem in India is the lack of trust between the buyer and the seller. I don't blame the buyer for it because there are a lot of spurious sellers.
Absolutely.
So I can understand why they feel constantly guarded. But if they can choose good sellers, there are always some good people in any rotten basket. So they could also benefit by talking to people like us and we could tell them what is the right thing to do.
So this could be another platform which could be used and to build the trust and there's always a parallel thing which will happen. I think that's all which is a good insight. Thank you so much
Thanks.
for giving your time.
Thanks.